Where's mommy's other phone guy? Good morning. Happy Monday. I hope it's happy for everybody. Last couple of days of the year. Good morning. Good morning. You know what I always say? Do me a favor. Like the live. Some people like to share the live. But just do me a favor and like the live until you see the heart, and then fill the heart's tail, and then take a break. We're only liking the live for two reasons. A, so that people know that we're here. And B, because the trolls are going to try to take the live. So we got to protect ourselves from the trolls. Good morning. I cannot find my other phone. So weird. That's what I get for not being prepared. Waiting until the last minute to figure it out. Good morning, everybody. We had some interesting times over the last couple of days. And to be honest, I'm going to need your help. Because some of what went on, I don't know. And I wasn't allowed to ask a question about it. So I'm going to need your help. Good morning, good morning. Okay, let's see. Who are we going to talk about first? Good morning. Happy Monday. Yes. Mr. Detroit Nike. Good morning, good morning. I love when the scammer gets scammed and they get mad. You've been scamming everybody for months on end, but you get scammed and the whole world is supposed to fall apart? No, sir. We don't care. Yeah, so he can't use his own Cash App. I think because it's gotten reported so many times. Either that or he doesn't want money reflected in his account. So he's using his mods accounts to get money. And one of the reasons why I feel like he's hiding Can you hear me now? How about now? Okay. If this one doesn't work, I'll just go mic free. Anyway, what I was saying is that he's using his mods' apps of cash and their cousins to get money. There's two reasons. A, because he doesn't want people to report his, and B, because he doesn't want the money to come directly to him from all of these different accounts. Right. He's the one who claims that he's homeless, but he has a whole apartment and a car. Um, All for One said it. I've been saying it. Yes, he's sitting in a hotel room, but I think it's because he knows somebody there. And I'm going to tell you why I feel like that. You don't never see anything in the room except for the door. You never see the room. You never see like the bed unmade. You never see his stuff being in there. The only thing you see is him sitting at what I'm assuming is the desk and the door to the hotel room. And so he's upset. Yeah, he claims to be in a hotel and homeless. But when it was warmer, he would literally sit outside all night long and beg for money. And so I think he sees TikTok as his job. He gets up in the morning and stays until whenever to get as much money as he possibly can. What he claims is that one of the mods who he was using her apps of cash and cousins stole his money. He's incredibly rude. He actually has a nerve to call people in the chat who are like, oh, I don't have it. Sorry. He calls them broke. That is an indication that he gets way more money than people think. Because how are you homeless living in a hotel calling somebody else broke? Right. We don't ever see, like, why isn't he sitting on the bed ever? Why aren't we seeing an unmade bed or his stuff on the counter? He is literally always sitting in the same exact spot because he doesn't want to mess up the room. He's not really paying for it. He's probably giving somebody a couple dollars to let him sit in there all day and beg. And when he gets whatever the amount is that he wants, he leaves and goes home. Or if they need the room, he leaves. Good morning. Everybody do me a favor, like the live, fill the heart's tail, and then take a break. Because we all know that these people have mods, enablers, and sycophants who will do anything to get a page like mine taken down because they don't want the truth to be told. You know, one of the red flags is if you see someone blocking and muting comments like look them up. If you don't have anything to hide, if your pattern doesn't have anything negative, why can't somebody look it up? Or in his case, people will come back and be like, oh, I sent you $50. He'll say, stop lying and block you. Not because you were actually lying, but because he doesn't want people to know the exact amount. If you just go in and say, oh, I gave a couple dollars, he'll be fine with it. But now he has to rely on the mods whose apps of cash he's using. Carby Barbie, this is my problem with that sentiment. He doesn't strike me as someone who would clean a hotel room. The way he dresses, the designer gear, I think he would think that was below him. I think that he's literally only there to collect money. And he's using a place that looks like that to make it seem like he's staying in the cheapest place possible. Right, and I don't think he's cleaning a single thing. Oh, it is an act. He's in fact said that this is a social experiment, which is crazy. But I bet you if you go on his live now and say, I thought you said this was a social experiment, you'll get blocked immediately. Yes, he has an apartment and a car. And when he got caught out about that, he was like, how do you know I was telling the truth? Again, so you admit that you lie. In an effort to prove one thing, you end up revealing your true self. My thing is this. How come you haven't done anything about changing your position? Not a single thing. I think you weren't getting enough money living on the street because how much money do you need to live on the street? Food, water. And so I think the hotel is a bigger drag, like, or a bigger grift. So instead of just needing like food and water, I need to pay for this hotel room. And the other day he was like, I need to pay for this hotel room. I need like 200 and something dollars so that I don't have to come on here and beg every day. I didn't stay long enough to see if he got it. But what I do know is that he was back on later on that day. So maybe he didn't get it all. But since then, he has been on every single day asking for a little less than $100. I thought you didn't want to come on here and beg every day. He did get it. Yeah, he doesn't leave. Most of them don't leave until they get it. Even when they come back on and be like, I didn't get it. I only got. They don't leave until they get it. Why leave? The only person that leaves without getting the money, in my opinion, is Peaceful Analogy. And what I have noticed is that if he doesn't get enough people in the live, he'll drop and come back, drop and come back, drop and come back, so that he can increase his numbers. But other than that, the rest of them, they're not leaving until they get the money, period, point blank. A lot of them even lie about whether they got it or not, but they're not leaving until they do. Yeah, he does have a Dodge Charger. Yeah, he's straight. This is literally his social experiment to see how long he can get people to take care of his every need before they find out that he's a scammer. Now, he might not get found out by TikTok until the feds investigate. But he's going to get found out. And what he better hope is that it's a slap on the wrist and not a real charge. You know, the RICO charge was created to get mafia leaders, because very rarely did they actually engage in whatever the act of criminality took place. They tried to do their best to distance themselves from those who were committing crimes in their name so that they could be like, I didn't have nothing to do with that. I didn't do that. I didn't go. So that's how they created why they created the RICO charge. Because they were able to say it's a conspiracy and you're the head of the conspiracy. They're bringing up all these rappers on a RICO charge. And I have a feeling that if it's not just fraud or theft by deception, it's going to be a RICO charge. Right. There's no entertainment. He brings no value to sitting there other than sitting there and begging over and over and over again. They used to try to entertain at least a little bit, talk about what's happening, talking about what's happening in the world, what's happening in their life, what's happening in the area they live in. They don't even bother. You know who's like that? Windwalker. Apparently her old beg name was Gypsy. I didn't even know. I just met her this time. I wasn't involved in any sort of awareness, raising the consciousness when she was there before. But apparently under Gypsy she was doing the same thing. She will literally sit there, watch TV, say a word or two to her husband, and then be like, "Can anybody help us reach the goal? I really need to feed my husband." And then he's in the background. Guys, anything helps. If you could, we need dinner. And then the other day, she was like, "I haven't even had my first drink of the day. I would like some Sprite." Nobody calls Sprite the drink of the day, the first drink of the day. The first drink of the day is alcohol. Period, point blank. I'll stand 10 toes down. 10 toes down. I have never heard of anybody call Sprite the first drink of the day. If you spend your time worrying about internet bums, that's all you'll do. Unc, I'm not sure what you mean, but okay. I'm raising the consciousness to prevent people from getting taken advantage of. And my goal is to bring enough value add to the situation that if they move to Clapper or Favorited or Instagram or the book face or in their general lives, they don't get taken advantage of. Oh, thank you, Just Kim. I appreciate it. I appreciate you saying that. That's the goal. So if you consider what I do chasing internet bums, then that's fine. He said the deposit that was raised this weekend was for his apartment. My thing is this. Why is it anybody on TikTok's responsibility to raise money for you to have a deposit? Because this is the thing. Okay, usually you have to have first, last, and security. You have to earn 3 times the rent. You know how I do. I literally run down the rabbit hole real quick to see where the story doesn't make sense. So, can you use TikTok begging as your source of income? When did that happen? Because let me start begging. Like, what? When did TikTok begging become confirmed income? But then, so you only ask for the deposit. Where's first and last? But then, just like with Amanda and her lie about sending her $700 for an apartment, where are you going to get the money to maintain the apartment? Oh yeah, they used to say that a lot. I'm a content creator. This is the problem with declaring that you're a content creator. Once you declare you're a content creator and you're getting money hand over fist for your content, then you have to report to all of your agencies that you are a content creator and are getting a salary based on that. And I think when some of them realized that that would have to be considered a job, guess what happened? They don't say it no more. They now say donation. Can you make a donation towards such and such? There was a woman introduced to me last night. Thank you, Manders, for the recommendation. A woman named Jules Mack out of Canada who did a GoFundMe for 5,000 initially and then claimed that 3,200 of it was a loan. How can $3,200 be a loan that was sent to a donation app? He's not homeless. He plays the role of homeless to see how much money he can get out of people. He's not homeless. There was a time when he would literally stay outside all night long. And then you wouldn't really see him during the day because I think that's when he was sleeping in his apartment. He is horrible. He is rude. He is disrespectful. You can't ask him a question. And this is the thing. Unfortunately, and I blame this on reality TV, people are fascinated with people who seem like they don't care about anything. So when you ask him a question like, well, what are you going to do about tomorrow, next week, next month? He'll be like, if you're not helping, then don't worry about it. And as a matter of fact, I'm kicking you out. And I believe that there are young people who are mostly his mods. They get off on watching him be able to be rude and callous without any care, no respect, nothing. They get off on that. They love it because they wish they could do it. And so the more he's rude, the more that he's disrespectful, the more money he gets. Which, when does society start applauding disrespect? You know, I watch documentaries a lot, and there was a minister that was a part of a documentary that was talking about a repeat murderer. And he said, like back in the 60s and 70s, if a preacher walked down the street where there was 304 activity, DD activity, they would stop out of respect at least until the preacher walked by. Now they're asking the preacher if he wants to participate. The level of disrespect that is acceptable now is out of control. And to reward that says more about society than it does about the fact that he's playing this game. What is it? What are their names? Trey and Bree or something like that? They're the same. He's the same way. He's the same way. He rage baits people. And they love it for some reason. Oh yeah, the people who keep giving them money is, I call them enablers and sycophants, because they continue to perpetuate the problem. Everybody like the live, please. So I'm sorry, but as they say, whoever don't like it, I'm going to keep talking about them until they go away. I go away when they go away. Period. Point blank. If they can get on here and lie and scheme and take advantage of people, then I have every right to get on here and call them out. Oh, wow, Tasha. I mean, nowadays, keeping it a buck, most places have jobs. Not everywhere. So don't say, oh my gosh, she said there's jobs everywhere. No, that's not what I'm saying. But if you have a McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, gas station, corner store, CVS, Walgreens, Walmart, Target, until you have applied to every single location in an area that is viable for you to work, I don't want to hear it. And you know, I told you, getting a job is a numbers game. And so when I was still in Connecticut and I was looking for a job, I literally created an Excel spreadsheet because the theory is that you apply for 100 jobs. You get 10 interviews. You might get 2 callbacks and then you get 1 offer. So until you've hit that 100 mark, you can miss it for me. Documentary proof that you've applied to 100 places. I created a spreadsheet because not only did I want to know who I interviewed with, I wanted to know the job I interviewed for and what day I had the interview, because I wanted to be able to send a thank you letter with those details. I didn't start the spreadsheet to get to 100. I literally created it so I would know who I sent a thank you letter to and who I didn't. I got to number 99 when I got the offer. So miss me with the there are no jobs. It's so hard out here. It is hard. It's hard for people with jobs. I don't know if you saw, but 2023 to 2024 saw a record increase in homelessness. I think it was 18%. So there were truly homeless people on here. The fact that you cosplay a homeless person is diabolical. It's diabolical. Oh, Joseph, I'm so sorry. I really hope you have a speedy recovery, a full recovery, no matter how long it takes. Do me a favor, stay positive. There have been studies that show, I think it was on cancer patients, those that stay positive had a greater outcome, a greater result than those who were negative. So please stay positive. Cause he chill because he showed the apartment and was basically like, yeah, this is a social experiment. Told on himself. He doesn't make that mistake anymore. But he's told on himself. Then he tried to clean it up and be like, just because I was in an apartment and said it was mine doesn't mean that it's mine. Who goes through all of that? Mr. Social Experiment. Who does that? The other thing I don't like about him is that he uses race to defend himself. And I don't like it. You know why? Because it dilutes the real problem. The other day, I posted, and if you haven't seen it, go to my page and look it up. It's going to be one of the latest videos. A gentleman named Robert Brooks. I believe he was in federal custody, but I'm not sure. But he was in custody nonetheless. He had his hands in handcuffs behind himself. Okay? Not in front, behind himself. Handcuffed. They were either bringing him to the infirmary, he was in the infirmary, I don't know what, but they were bringing him into a place where he needed care. It was probably 7 to 10 officers in the room. And they beat him so bad that he was unalived 24 hours later. Now, I'm not going to say that was about race, although he was a man of color and the cops were not. But there's something wrong with the fact that A, they knew they were on camera. They had body cams on. And they thought it was okay to beat that man to within an inch of his life so that 24 hours later he passed on. I didn't get into whether it was racial. I said, do better, Blue. Blue, do better. Because at that point, it doesn't even matter the race of either side. They beat, and I believe I posted the video. Robert Brooks. Yes, he passed in the hospital. Oh, you're talking about Detroit Nike? That's the person in the picture. Let me see if I have a still from that. Hold on. I don't have a still. I don't have a still. But if you go to my page, it's going to be either the third or the fourth video from the top. You'll see the actual beating. And what I said was, this could be my husband, my father, my son, my brothers, my cousins, my friends. I don't know what he was arrested for. I don't know why, if he had been convicted yet. I don't know any of those details because for me, they don't matter. His race didn't matter. They just did him wrong. And so when you have a situation like that take place, and then you have somebody like Detroit Nike using race as to why people are calling him out, it pisses me off. First of all, black people are not a monolith. We don't all think alike. What we are is afraid of what happened to Robert Brooks. It's not on my page. Yeah, his hands were cuffed behind his back. I have to go look and see. I thought I posted it here. I was almost sure that I posted it. It is a very tough video to watch. Did anybody see it on my page? Can somebody tell? Yes, it is the fourth video. Okay, that's what I thought. I thought it was the fourth video on my page. Okay, I was about to be like, "Am I losing it?" So Renee said, "Yeah, she just watched." It is a very difficult video to watch because it's, first of all, it took all of y'all to move him. It took all of y'all to keep him under control. And what could he do with his hands behind his back? Oh, thank you, Susan. Yeah, it's been floating around. So when Detroit Nike throws race in there, people, when there is a situation that has the potential to be racially motivated, Detroit Nike dilutes that. Then people be like, "Oh, they always use race."
I hate that he does that. It just dilutes the issue. And in his case, it has nothing to do with race. It's right and wrong, which is why I didn't say anything about race in my video. It's blue versus everybody else in that situation. The person could have been any color, any ethnicity, any religion. It could have been anybody. What happened to him was wrong. Period, point blank. And Detroit Nike needs to be stopped because he's insidious. He gets in people's heads, makes them feel like they're doing him the biggest favor in the world. He takes their money and goes to his apartment and laughs. And I think one of the reasons why I don't like him is that he's cosplaying a homeless person in need when there are really people on here who need assistance. An 18% homelessness rate, and you're pretending to be homeless? Yeah, you need to go. We need to create a 2025 bingo card of the people we need to no longer be on this app begging for money. Why are people arguing? Don't argue, guys. If you, for whatever reason, can't find it on my page, just look up Robert Brooks or inmate beating. It will be a huge bingo card. There's someone who has created like a collage of the scammers, and I think she's up to 3 pages. Correct. Could be a setting issue with sensitive warning. It could be, but it wasn't on anybody else's. A and B, it can't be any more settling for you to watch than it was for him to live it, than it was for his mother, father, and family to watch it. Sorry. Sorry if it should have been a trigger warning. But what happened? He didn't get a trigger warning. His family didn't get a trigger warning. Right, Virgo. But if you do that, he'll kick you out. Another red flag is if you bring up Penny Fairy, All for One, and Mexican Homie and you get muted and blocked, red flag. Especially All for One. Because All for One has that link tree. It is so extensive that it almost doesn't matter what your problem is, he has something for it. And if he doesn't, and he has said this multiple times, if you are in need of something that isn't on his list, reach out to him and he will try to figure it out. So when someone says to you, have you tried All for One's list? And they be like, he's not, Nick Wright does that. He's not allowed to be talked about in here. Why? Kiki loves melatonin. I love that. What's happening, guys? Listen, do yourselves a favor. If y'all know that the video was there, don't go back and forth with anybody in here. Because it's attention seeking. Don't worry about it. I gave you the name of the gentleman. I gave you how to look it up. If you can't find it on my page, go find it someplace else. Yeah. If they want to see it, they'll find it. Don't go back and forth. You know, I don't believe in going back and forth. I said what I said. If you don't feed me, fund me, or F me, your opinion of me doesn't matter. I said what I said. Maggie is on the plane begging right now. Do y'all wait? We might as well talk about her. Hold on. Because I saw her and it cracked me up. Wait, let's see. Did you see where she claimed that somebody stole, one of her mods stole her money, and now she wants like $1,100? And while she still has some mods, the ones who were really riding for her have all woken up and walked away. Like they don't want no parts of it. And again, she was using other people's apps of cash and then having them send it to her. And one of the things we've been saying is that every time you send somebody money, you're creating a paper trail. And if what they did with that money, A, wasn't used for the purpose for which it's sent, theft by deception, B, could be used in criminal activity, guess who's going to get a phone call or a knock on the door? Why did you give this person money? What was the premise? And if they find out that you are allowing somebody to use your apps of cash, etc., and their cousins, well, why would you do that? Do you know her? Oh no, we're just friends on TikTok. For how long? 3 months. So in 3 months' time, you've allowed someone you do not know to use your account? And if it's enough money, the feds are going to be like, so did you pay taxes on it? Yeah, she was mad because she claimed someone took her money from one of the apps. My question is this: how did she know it was $1,100? Did the person get $1,100, tell her they got $1,100, and then block her? If I'm going to take your money, why would I announce it? Or is she mad that she's not getting the money every day that she was getting, and now she's asking for $1,100? Hold on. Good morning, TikTok husband.
Good morning, little wife, or whatever. I'm just waking up. Well, as of 5:30 this morning, Maggie was not on an airplane.
Where was she? On the bus?
Home. She got
Oh,
on. She got on at 11 o'clock last night. I thought I was listening to Chef Carl. It's an emergency. I need 1,200 hours. It's an emergency. It's a life and death. And
what?
everybody, what's going on, Maggie? What's going? She wouldn't say anything to anybody until some people got in the boxes. I've been robbed. I've been scammed. One of my mods took my 1,100 hours and 1,134 hours, and she wouldn't give it to me. But here, when this whole funeral thing blew up, the one person that the banner was under for her cash app stated she sent Maggie all this money. She sent her $1,134. Well, Maggie's saying, well, she only sent me 200. Yes, she has a sticker up for 1,200. I
Right.
mean, last night I didn't know who was going to laugh harder, myself, Scammy, or the rest of the world. We were just, I mean, it was one of those ones. Oh my God, it's 3 o'clock. I got to get to bed. I got to go to bed. But you just
Right.
couldn't hang it up. It was a movie that you couldn't walk away from.
Right.
Right.
I had to put my phone down too.
From 11 o'clock till 3:30, she raised a whole $34.
Yeah.
You tell me that my train has not
Hey!
stopped.
Awareness always wins. We just
That's
gotta keep it
that's all
going.
she got was $34, and man, she was mad.
Girl, the train has left the station. You only getting pennies. And these new mods that she has, they are just as weak as all get out. She doesn't have the
Oh,
mods that was ready to jump through hoops for her. Nope. But I
well,
love how they scam and then they get mad when they get scammed.
there's that one, the Sparklies, or whatever her name was.
Yeah.
She got on last night. She says, Maggie, don't you go to the airport without a ticket. She says, because I'm not going to get you a ticket in a motel room this time. Don't you do it, Maggie. Maggie, I mean it. Don't you do it. And she just dropped real quick. Apparently, when she was down in Atlanta, she didn't have a return ticket home.
What?
And she went to the airport figuring, well, if she tells them she got robbed or something, that they would just let her get on the plane. Well, they didn't. She got a hold of Sparkles, who bought her a return ticket home and a night at the hotel. Because
Wow.
Maggie says, I'm going to go to the airport. I'm going to tell them I was scammed. They're going to let me on that plane. And I'm just sitting there and I'm rolling.
My my thing is this: the only way that an airline would cover you is if you actually had a ticket and somebody stole it. They're not going to give you an airline ticket because someone supposedly stole cash from you. That doesn't even make sense.
Well, like I said, as of 5:30 this morning, she was still home, and her mom's got on their little live, and she was over there. She said, "This is so boring. I have no money. I'm sitting at home. I should be in my way to Vegas." But as
Can
of
somebody
5:30
go
this
look at
morning,
her live right now and see what she's talking about?
oh, is she live right now?
Somebody said she was live right now. Hold on.
Oh,
Hey
Good
y'all,
morning.
good morning. Maggie's on a plane right damn now. She's on the plane. I was just watching her live.
And
She's
what was she
heading to
talking
Vegas.
about?
Heading to Vegas, but she got off.
She got off the plane?
Yeah, they said this we have reached or whatever. She cut the live off. She was just on the plane. Live. That girl played in everybody's face. That brother on my brother deceased and this and that. That's where that money went. To a trip to Vegas.
well, that means she had to have that money from Vegas, and her plane and everything wasn't canceled. Because that's what she
Correct.
was saying. That her flight,
Oh, they were taking off.
somebody
I'm
canceled
sorry.
her flight.
Yeah, they were taking off, so she got off.
Well, like I said, as of 5:30 this morning, when I just couldn't get my eyes open anymore, she was still at home.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody screen recorded.
Yeah, well,
So
she,
that means that she was just grifting for more money for her.
Hmm. I
well,
just
hold on, Scanny's on, so we'll see what she says.
all right. I'll drop back to the comments.
Okay, thank you, Mercedes. I
No
appreciate
problem.
it. Yeah, she was just grifting for more money for her trip.
Said it before. A lot of people do shitty stuff on this app. And it really just takes one shitty thing for me to be like,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't want to be
Who's
around them.
that?
I don't support that
Scammy.
bullshit. And yet,
It's
part
Scammy
of me
Claus.
does
She's
start
live.
to
Yep,
time.
she's live.
And yet, they still go in there. They still go in her boxes.
Mm, well, I don't know what's
I
going on,
know,
but I'm
I
going to
know
jump
that's
over to
not what she
Scammies and
wanted.
find out, and I'll be back.
Okay, yep. Do me that solid. Thank you, love. Yeah. So Again, I think that people supported her for several reasons. One, because you can tell she has an intellectual disability. Two, they could get her to do humiliating things and people would pay for it. And three, for she used to just be a beggar. It wasn't really a scam. It was, I want to go to a concert. I want to go play bingo. I want to do this. I want to do that. And I think for the most part, she was using the money that was gifted to her for the thing she wanted. But then it became, well, I can ask for any amount for any reason and they'll give it to me. But she stuck to the same lies. 500 for a Halloween costume. Yeah, and so that's what I mean. So like, maybe let's say the costume was 100 or 150, right? She wanted that 150 costume, but she wanted the 350 maybe to buy candy, maybe to get an Uber to a party, maybe for money to get into the party she wants to go to. And so that's what I mean. Like, there's a little bit of truth in the lie. Amanda does that perfectly. Where there's enough truth in the lie that if people investigate, okay, yes, it's true. But does it mean it's true for you? Not necessarily. And I think that is what has crossed her over from being a beggar to a scammer. She is taking advantage of people's kindness. She's taking advantage of her intellectual disability to need the things that she needs. But she doesn't need it. Isn't it interesting that her intellectual disability prevents her from being able to work, makes her act inept, but she's not in the same city as her family? If her problems were that severe, why would they allow her to live in a different state and trust that she could travel back and forth by herself? And now she just got back from being with her family that was wherever, and now she's on her way to Vegas to gamble because we know she loves to gamble. I personally think that 1100 was for spending money. There's no way she got to the airport without a ticket. Now, on her way home, does she have a ticket? That remains to be seen. It never ends. Let's talk about this person now. Bad picture, but I was trying to make sure that I focused on his head. Mr. Never Has Nothing has always been mistreated. Everybody takes advantage of him. He does nothing wrong. He's accused of having an inappropriate conversation with a minor, and his only excuse is that he wasn't the only person that used that phone. He's been in and out of facilities, whether that be jail, whether that be rehab locations, and it seems like every time he gets into some sort of housing situation that is either a halfway house or a rehab facility, somebody does him wrong and he has to leave. So, like, he claims that where he was staying, they got upset with him and literally just brought him to another town and dropped him off. Now, apparently, he's in Sioux Falls, Minnesota. But I don't know if that's true or not. That's what somebody was saying in the comments. Why is my charger not working? So he's asking for money and he's like, oh, if you give me the money, if you give me $100, I won't be on here asking. So he claims he works for a nonprofit. And he even said that when they did, was it Christmas or Thanksgiving, that he asked for some food and they said no. So you mean to tell me a nonprofit that works with the poor and the homeless, they know your situation and they wouldn't give you anything to eat? Oh, he's in South Dakota. They wouldn't give you anything to eat? Does that make sense? I'm lost. The picture changed. This is Nick Wright. Also Mark Russell. I think Mark Russell is his real name. I don't know where Nick Wright came from. So is it South Dakota or Minnesota? But I think he just told that story to try to make himself seem more empathetic. So let me see. So on the 28th, and he was like, there's 89 people in here. If everybody gave $2, I wouldn't have to ask for any more money. At that time, he was claiming he needed like sweatpants and shoes. Then he said he had this little saying that made me think of Carl, where it was like, look in your Cash App, see how much you have, and then give me what you can. Sir, whatever is in my Cash App, I intend to use it on something that I need. Sorry. He doesn't get paid until the weekend, and then he wants to save money for a car. Then I guess he was reaching out to people on Craigslist for various things, and he had an attitude that people's telephone numbers weren't on there. They're not on there because the people don't want to get harassed. Send them an email. But you want phone numbers because you want to be able to call and harass people. Then he said something about appreciating the trolls. Without the trolls, I wouldn't have an account. You're right. You're right. Because the trolls in your comments are what keep your comments flowing. But then he gets mad and he will block you. I got blocked originally because the first time I came across him, I was like, have you heard about All for One's Linktree? And he was like, I don't talk about All for One. And blocked and muted me. That tells you a lot. Because this is the thing. Let's say you went to All for One's Linktree and none of it worked out for you, right? Why are you mad about it? To the point where I have to be muted and blocked. You could have easily said, yeah, I tried this Linktree, it didn't work for me. On to the next thing. But red flag, blaring lights, woo, 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 you're a scammer. Then he's always sitting in the same place. And it looks like it is a restaurant, but not a restaurant. What I mean by that is, you know, the areas in a hotel that serves breakfast, what that looks like. Like it's a dining room, but it's not a restaurant. I don't know where he is. Oh, Panera Bread. Oh, okay. Ah, with a cup of coffee. Now, my thing is this, and again, you know what I say to y'all: slow down, stop reading the comments, and just pay attention. You don't have money, but you got nice, shiny headphones. You don't have money, but you have a laptop that you use. You don't have money, but as you said, you didn't have a phone as of last Saturday, but now you have one. Where did all of this stuff come from? If you have nothing to your name, you don't have enough underwear, but you have a laptop and headphones, I was tempted to say, why don't you pawn your stuff? But I knew I would have got blocked, so I kept the comment to myself. But why can't you pawn that until you get your paycheck on Friday? Why is it TikTok's responsibility to get you through now and Friday? And he's another one that is on the ruder side, not nearly as bad as Detroit Nike, but he's rude. He can be disrespectful. He claimed that he was not going to share his exact location because people call and get him kicked out and stuff like that. All I could do is laugh. Then he said, I'm hungry, man. My nipples are hard. All I could do is laugh. Like, why do we need to know that? Why? Then, because he got asked several questions that he was uncomfortable with, he was like, I'm getting off. Let me give y'all a piece of advice. When you hear one of these scammers say they're getting off, and they say it multiple times, they're not going to get off most of the time. The goal is to thin out the numbers. So if they, like when I say I'm coming to the end of my day, before I can even say hug your loved ones because tomorrow isn't promised, I've already lost 50% of the people in the chat. And that's what happens to them. They'll be like, you know what, I can't take this, I'm getting off. And immediately they'll lose 20 people. The next time they say it, they'll lose another 20 people. Because people are assuming that when they say they're going, they're going. A lot of times they're not going. And that's what he did. He waited for it to thin out to get rid of what he would consider the trolls. And then he starts up again. And then he swore on his dead mother that if he got the $100, he would never come back. Sir, both of my parents have passed on. My mother passed on in 2019. My father did in 2020. I don't play about that. I don't play about that. It's so bad. I wouldn't even say it. I wouldn't even say that. Then he was upset because I guess in the past, when he said that he's needed something, he's gotten it almost immediately. He's mad that in an hour he's only gotten $10. In 2 hours he's only gotten $15. Sir, the money train is leaving the station for all of y'all. Awareness is winning. We just have to be patient and consistent. And I am going to continue to raise the consciousness of every single person that I can. Do y'all think that after talking for 3 hours, I'm not tired? I'm exhausted. But my goal is to give you a slightly different perspective than you might get from Mexican Homie or All for One or Scam Me, all of them. My goal is to give you a slightly different perspective, perhaps a perspective that you didn't see while you were listening, that they didn't pick up on. Then he was like, I'm leaving. I'm not going to sit here and beg for money and not get anything. Now, my question to the scammers is this. When y'all threaten us with a good time, are we supposed to be afraid? It's like when Lisa was like, if you don't give me the money for cigarettes, I'm not going to rehab. Was that supposed to hurt our feelings? Was that supposed to be detrimental to us? But I think that Discord blew her head up into believing that she had a bunch of people that would do anything for her. In Nick's case, I think it's just out of frustration. I'm not going to be on here begging if I'm not going to get anything. Well, thank you, sir. That's what I've been trying to get you to understand. Get off here and stop begging. Go do what you got to do. And again, somebody brought this up, I want to say in All for One's Live yesterday. When these people claim they have no friends and family, there is a reason. Is it because they cut you off because they were sick of your nonsense? Did they cut you off because you've burned so many bridges you don't have anyone anymore? Like, what is it? Make it make sense. Then he was on, what was that, the 28th? The 29th. Now he's just asking for $20 for food. What happened to the 100, sir? He eventually came back to the 100, but now it's $20 for lunch. He wasn't even saying for the day, for lunch. And then, of course, like everybody else, there aren't any cheap places to get food from in his location, and buses don't run on Sunday. When I tell you they will squeeze themselves into a corner that prevents them from getting anything except for what they ask you for, it's amazing. Amanda does it brilliantly. Oh, I have to have a cab ride to get to the shelter. I have no other way to get to the shelter. The woman that I live with doesn't have a car. My car is in impounds. I have until midnight to get to the shelter or they're going to give the bed away. Please, please, please. I mean, wedge themselves into the tightest of corners, whether it be a deadline, an emergency. There's no other resources. There's no other way to do anything. So then it's like, well, if $20 is going to get him out of this crazy perpetual thing, I'll give him the $20. A lot of us will spend $20 on something stupid, so you think I'm helping somebody. The only thing that does is embolden them. It doesn't make them think, okay, I asked for 100, I got 200. Maybe I'll donate the other 200 or I'll save it for a rainy day, but now I'm going to leave TikTok. Thank you. Doesn't work that way. They pocket the money you gave them and then they put the rest towards whatever they wanted. But they're not getting off this app. That's not going to happen. My other question is this. What are your hours of work, sir? You work Monday to Friday, 9 to 5? Then he said, then he said, there's a study out there. Because somebody was like, get another job. Like, try to get something part-time. You don't have any children. You don't have any responsibilities. What's your problem? And what he said was there was a study that said that their companies are getting money from the federal government not to hire people. Can somebody find that study? It's a study that says that the government is giving companies money not to hire. Somebody find me that study because I couldn't find it. Then he claims somebody cut his hair. Who's the somebody? And where'd they get clippers from? Because that's not a scissor haircut. Someone said, what state are you in? He said, the state of misery. Sir, the state of misery, you are not 6 feet below. You are above ground. Stop it. And that's when he said again, go look at your cash apps and see what you can help with. Everyone just send $1 and I would stop asking. Then someone said they got his hair cut so that he could have a new profile picture for his Tinder account. I almost rolled out the bed. Your new Tinder account, sir. Then he said his stomach was going to explode through his ass. He's so hungry. What? That statement and hunger don't even go together. The first half of that was basically you ate something wrong and now your stomach is going to explode through your ass. Hunger and like, tell me I'm so hungry, I'm weak, I'm getting ready to pass out. But your stomach is about to explode through your ass because you're hungry? It's giving weird. It's giving, I'll say anything. Well, all we gotta do is wait until Friday. And let's see how much begging he does between now and Friday. Mister, you're straight. So I've been working on some things behind the scenes. I'm not going to say what. But what I will say is I'm hoping that I can bring some additional setups for everybody who's in the community. And I'm going to need everybody's help to make sure that it stays as accurate as possible. Right, he doesn't miss any meals because somebody was like, "Oh, Salvation Army," and he was like, "We don't have one," and then he was looking for some boxers. I can't remember the name of them. It was like Big Ben or whatever it was, and he was like, "I got these in jail. They were really good underwear," and then he was like, They don't even have any that fit me. Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. Okay, sir. You're eating good to me. Thank you for the gifts. I appreciate it. I especially appreciate the likes. It prevents their sycophants, fans, and enablers from getting the live banana. So I appreciate it. And when I get gifts, I appreciate them because this is a lot of work. And I then turn around and take the money and I give it to other people who are also doing the work. Because this requires a community. No way I could do this by myself. No way on the planet could I do this by myself. So I appreciate every one of you. I appreciate getting the lives shared because I can't see everything. And sometimes I want to be on TikTok and I don't start off wanting to be on scammer side of TikTok. I want to watch Book Talk and Cook Talk and the Over 40 Club and all of those things are a part of my other accounts algorithm. But as long as I'm in TikTok, I get to see everybody who sends me. And I believe it was Manders yesterday who sent me the live where they were talking about Jules Mack. I can't wait to get into her. Cannot wait. Now, I was in All for One's live yesterday. And she came up, Miss Kim Peters. I can't remember the young lady's name. Or she wasn't actually that young. I don't know if it was Helen, but she had her served. Oh, okay, cool. So we know we'll be done by at least 10:30, if not sooner. So that everybody make sure you go. Oh, Hope. Okay, make sure. I knew it started with an H, but I couldn't remember. Um, Everybody put on your calendar 11 a.m. Scammy Claus. She's going to talk to one of Maggie's mods. Thank you so much for that. Scammy's also discussing Kim. Okay, yeah. Well, Hope had her served. Good for you, Hope. Any of you guys been taken advantage of? Try to get your money back. Because one of the things that's going to happen, which is happening to Miss Peters, is that it looks like in the letter it indicated that she should stop going live. I haven't seen the letter, so I can't quote it specifically. But one of the pieces of advice that All for One gave, if you see her on 8 Lemons, The Tubes of You, The Book Face, Clap, on TikTok, any of them, to take a screen recording, take a photo, make sure you get her face, username in there, and send it. Where did I say? Where did he say to send it? To HUD. There are cases being being investigated by various agencies. She shouldn't be back up there. But I have a feeling that she feels invincible. Oh, that's right. The Gram. Can't forget the Gram. And According to someone in the live, it is confirmed that she is with Marcus. I have always felt like that was the case. And I believe I said so on my live on Friday. I 100% believe she's with Marcus. It's what the whole grift about the rent was about. Because she wanted to have enough money to show him a good time. Excuse me. Yeah, she does feel untouchable and entitled, but she about to find out. I used to tell people all the time when I was the director of HR, everybody's replaceable. Don't get here and think that you are so good that you're so highly skilled that there's not somebody that could replace you. Don't ever think that you're so big on this app that it can't take you out. And there's quite a few of them that are that cocky. But ask Chef Carl. Ask any of them, really, because the train has left the station. They are only getting the scragglies that are hanging on the outside of the train. That's it. There was a time she could get $800 in an hour or less. And it used to piss me off. Like, why are y'all doing this? Why are y'all giving them money? Awareness always wins. Just take some time. Be patient and consistent. You report and nothing happens, report the next time. I love reporting the Cash App. Cash App then got so sick of me reporting. Before I could even hit it, they're like, you've already reported this account. Hope was her mod and gave her over $2,000 under false pretenses that Kim gave. And so her attorney, I think, is asking for the money back. And there's a whole lot of people with receipts of giving her money. Sure did. So I think that she has more to worry about than someone trolling her on TikTok. Let's go to the next one. Doesn't he look so much better for not being on any medication? Not seeing the oncologist after getting a diagnosis of stage 4? Such and such and such and such cancer? You refused any sort of traditional treatment, which is fine. I mean, it's your life, your body, you do what you want to do. But how do you look better and not worse? It's not the warm weather because you're cold every day, you say. And so he was looking for money so that he could get to a job in Florida, a job and a place to stay. Let's see. It was a guaranteed job and a place to stay. But he needed to be there by the 31st. So he needed 118 for a Greyhound and 30 to get an Uber or Lyft to the Greyhound business. Then you have mods in the live trying to convince people to give him money. If y'all think he needs the money so bad, give it to him yourself. You support him already, give him your money. He is True Knowledge. Isn't this True Knowledge? Timothy Nash? Or you mean Peaceful Analogy? Yeah, this is Timothy Nash. I don't remember what Peaceful Analogy's real name is. Oh, that's your that's your name. Has anyone seen? I read that like it was. I read that like it was a comment. Hilarious. I might need to get off early. I might still be too tired. Lord. So no medication. Which my thing is this: you can't tell me he hasn't got enough money to get that medication over the course of however long he's been back to begging. Stop lying. No oncologist, no medication. I think the job to Florida was either just a money grab to see how much they could get, or he's trying to run again because Pennsylvania has found where he is and they're investigating. Because he was being investigated in Pennsylvania before he took off. Now, I want to show y'all. Remember, I showed y'all a picture with the woman in the background that we suspect to be his girlfriend that's traveling with him, right? I want y'all to see this. I know it might be a little hard to see, but this is the house that is across the street from where he's sitting outside drinking, talking to the live, smoking trees. Does that look like a raggedy neighborhood to you? Does that look like a neighborhood where a bunch of homeless people just hang out? That doesn't look like a raggedy neighborhood to me. That house is beautiful. And I know it's kind of at night, so let me see if I have a picture of it from the daytime. I might. Hold on. Come on. Okay, I mean, this isn't much better, but that's a beautiful home. And it's not a small home either. So, sir, where are you? Because you said that this place that you're staying barely has indoor plumbing. Like, they don't have a shower, they only have a toilet. That doesn't strike me as a neighborhood for that to be true. I'm sorry. Is it possible? Anything is possible. But that house across the street has indoor plumbing. So why would the house across the street not have indoor plumbing? They usually create neighborhoods, not houses. So if the house across the street has indoor plumbing, why would the house across the street not have a shower, barely have a toilet? I tell y'all all the time, slow down, don't pay attention to the comments, don't even pay attention to what they say necessarily. I write it down so I don't have to remember, but I pay close attention. I'm the one who caught his girlfriend with him. That happened so quick in the live that I had to keep going back and forth until I could find the exact moment where she was in the frame. He thought just jumping up, no problem. But I caught the background. So when you say the house you're in doesn't have a shower and there's barely a toilet, miss me with that. Miss me with that. And that's why, and granted, I tell anybody, I tell my man all the time, a curious woman is better than the FBI and the CIA put together. We will figure some ish out from crumbs. Do you hear me? Crumbs. And we will figure out the entire story. So miss me with the, be nice to him and send him money. He's a liar. He had this thing where it was like, my birthday's on the 3rd. Of course, we are already dry begging for it. And he's like, he'll be 40, but he doesn't expect to see 41. Where? So he's already given up on Florida. He knows he's not going to get the funds for that. He's not going to get the funds for medication. But people around you don't mind giving you free trees and free drink. So then he starts to tell his story that he's buried 2 children. He lost everything. He's sick and going through a struggle. He gets on the TikTok to laugh. But he is going through the hardest time in his life. So thank you all. I love you. Then he says, I'm sleeping in a trailer. And I only have 1 blanket. It has no heat. And he eats every 3 to 4 days. Does he look like he only eats every 3 to 4 days? He looks awfully healthy to me to be stage 4 cancer and hungry. I'm sorry. He has at least gained 10 to 15 pounds from where he used to be. Then he was like, Mary Jane never lets him down. I bet she don't. So he said he has to go to Pilot to take a shower. So he, of course, needs money for that. He needs money to get to Pilot, and then he needs money for the actual shower itself. Don't want tomato. Then he was like, there's places I'd like to see before I pass on. Another dry bag. You want people to send you to Vegas, to LA, to the Hollywood sign, to what is it in Vegas? The Grand Canyon, New York City. Miami, Orlando. Like, sir, you are 40 years old. You want to see the world, make it happen for yourself. Nobody else's responsibility. He said he thought he would get the Greyhound money quickly, but he didn't since he put a deadline on it. Then he tried to quote the Bible verse to explain why weed is legal. Sir, why don't you quote the Bible verse that says if you don't work, you don't eat? But you could quote the Bible verse that says that weed is okay. Okay. He said he met. Wait, what's his Oh, so apparently because he's on pain meds here, he's not allowed to take any narcotic, which is, I'm sorry, he couldn't smoke weed because he was on pain management in Pennsylvania. And now that he's no longer there, no longer taking those meds, he can go back to Mary Jane. Well, I hope you have a good time, True Knowledge, because your train has left the station as well. Right, CJ. Is this a TikTok travel agency? No, sir. Right. Let me just tell you something. There is, I don't know about other parts of Twitter, but on Black Twitter, they have like award shows, get-togethers, whatever. We need to have an awareness scammer get-together. We really do. Put that in Vegas and say, True Knowledge, if you could get there, then you could see half of the things you've wanted to see on your list. Jerk. Always taking advantage of somebody. And I just want to, yo, y'all could stop reporting me. They love to get me for talking about regulated goods. Because I said Mary Jane? Lord, what's she flipping out? What is she flipping out about? $20? There's so many people on, I feel like I should get off. Because I don't like when people can't see what other people are saying. Let me see. I showed y'all the house. Let me just talk about, that's true. Oh, I know what I wanted to talk about. I'm sorry. Before I let everybody go, I was in a live last. I have been in several lives discussing Ronnie, Nikki, Lisa, and Lisa's parents. I asked to ask an honest question. I asked to get in the box multiple times. I was rejected from getting in the box. I am now side-eyeing you. Excuse me. Let me put the person who I'm side-eyeing. I'm now side-eyeing you, Nikki. Because for me, the story is so convoluted. I don't know where it starts, where it ends, who's a part of it, who isn't a part of it. But the fact that I asked to ask an honest question and I was rejected twice after you acknowledged me. You said, Digital, I see you. But you were getting ready to turn off the comments. And I requested to come up twice and you denied me coming up. I now side-eye you. Yes, that's Nicole. Is there anybody here with any background knowledge that is verifiable that can explain the nonsense? From what I gather, Ronnie when after she had the baby, got into it with her baby's father, and she was allowed to stay at Nikki's home. And then behind the scenes, people who were trying to be supportive of her, Ronnie, I'm talking about, started sending her gifts and money. A, without Nicole knowing it, and B, asking for the same thing from multiple people, ergo a scammer. Is there anybody here who knows the background, the backstory? Because I don't really. I have only seen Ronnie in the light of calling Lisa out. I'll be honest. I have always side-eyed Nicole. Because, like, why are you doing what you're doing? But I don't get to judge how anybody else decides they want to bring awareness to the forefront. So I just stuffed it away. I'm sure there are people who don't like how I do it. So what am I going to do? Talk about her every day, make her feel bad? No. She has firsthand knowledge about things I'll never know. But this thing with Ronnie and her and the gifts and her stealing money, like, the whole thing feels incredibly sketchy to me. Right, Misty. It was. There had to be 3 or 4 lives yesterday about this situation. And somebody asked for a recap, and she was told, sorry you got here too late, there'll be no recap. Like, why are we sounding like the scammers? If you're here to bring information, if you're here to enlighten, and that was not said by Nicole, by the way. It was said by somebody in her panel. Everybody just wants to know what's what, because we have all been dragged on this journey. Whether it was Lisa, whether it was Lisa's kids, where it was Lisa's friends or not so much friends, we have all been dragged down this path, down this hallway to darkness. Y'all can't take 5 minutes and recap the circumstances? Just let everybody know what's what? Yeah, I heard. I tell y'all all the time, let's not be mean, let's not be nasty. We're trying to create allies, not enemies. Period, point blank. And why can't people ask questions? You don't know what you don't know. The only way to know and understand what's happening is to ask questions. So, what is the problem? Then you want to make everything cryptic. Well, I have proof of such and such, but I'm not going to put it out. But that applies to this. Did you give money for slippers? No, yeah. Oh, somebody else did? Oh, like, why are we being so cryptic? Just say what it is. Just say what it is. And the emotional roller coaster you went on baffled me. from angry cursing out to boohoo crying to needing to mute the live to coming back cursing people. Like, what, ma'am? And you want to know why people want to recap? Because they're trying to understand what's going on. Who's who? Who's made the decisions? Who's done XYZ? Because this is the thing. If it wasn't for Lisa, no one would care about Ronnie. Nobody would care about Nicole. Nobody would care about Jess. Nobody would care about, what's the other one? Kim? Rhea? All of these people would be irrelevant to us. That's Nicole. She is the person who called Lisa out one night while she was on the street begging. And everybody was like, yeah, even I was like, go ahead. Somebody need to tell her. And when Ronnie stepped to her, what was it, last week, and was like, I'm sick of this, I was like, Team Ronnie, you deserve a star. You are my star of the week. Just to find out that she was scamming on the back ends, girl. No, it happened again recently. Oh, you mean, well, yeah. When Lisa first moved to her parents' house and was outside begging, Nicole went out and was like, I'm sick of you begging, blah, 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 blah. And I wasn't mad because I'm sure people in the neighborhood were sick of hearing her crying and whining and begging and blah, blah, blah. It's one of the reasons why she started walking. So somebody explained to me what was going on, because I was lost like a mofo. And when I asked to ask a question, I was not dropped, I was refused a box twice. And I said, I just have an honest question. What the hell is going on? Because I remember Ronnie saying that if the parents needed food, she would get them food. So how are you living with Nicole begging people on TikTok for money for food? And I have said this before, and I'm going to say it again. I feel like there have been mods and enablers who have watched what their person has gotten and decided they wanted it for themselves. And then they became the scammer under the guise of awareness. I said it last night. Why I don't show my face? Because I don't want it to become about me. I have a whole account that my face is on. But this for me is, I want to stay focused. If I start putting my face, then I'm going to want to look put together. And then I'm going to want to do things that are going to be entertaining for the awareness community. Then the account becomes about me, what I'm wearing, what I look like. Am I entertaining on those videos? I refuse to do that. Now, on my regular page, I've done some of those things, but not here. For what? I'm here for awareness. And I know I said I'm not using that word, but I'm here to raise the consciousness of the collective so that people can make the right decision for themselves. That's it. That's all. Me doing a makeup tutorial, cooking or baking in my kitchen, taking you shopping, introducing you to my main, all of that has nothing to do with the purpose of this account. So that's why I don't do it. I'm not hiding. And so when you have all these people who suddenly are using their TikTok accounts to get money, what's the difference? Somebody tell me what the difference is. And I'm sure there's going to be people on here who can't stand me for saying it. Y'all know how I feel. I could care less. It is what it is. Oh, that's what Lisa's saying? It's something with her dad? Well, listen, y'all. People are dropping like flies because there are so many people live this morning. And y'all know how I feel. I said most of what I wanted to say. I'm going to let everybody go so everybody can watch the goings on. I think from now until, what is it, the 4th, 5th, we're going to see a lot of chaos. So let's just sit back and enjoy the ride. I'm not going to be here Wednesday because I hopefully will be asleep at this time on Wednesday morning. Where should we go watch? I guess Lisa Boo. It's not Lisa. What is it? It's not Lisa Boo or Lisa Boo needs help. One of them, or you can go to Scammy Claus. It sounds like she was live. Thank you, Mimi. I'm here for the ride too. And if anybody can get enough information about this Nicole Ronnie saga, please come on Friday morning so we can talk about it, because I don't want to call anybody out that is not deserving of a call out. But the whole situation just feels weird to me. A lot of it doesn't seem to make sense. That like Ronnie was getting packages sent to an abandoned house, so nobody knew she was getting it. But USPS will recognize that a house is abandoned and they put a note in that mailbox that says nobody lives here. But I'm not in Pittsburgh, so what do I know? Anyway, everybody have a great day. Enjoy the end of 2024. If you're looking for something to do to start 2025 off right, one of the things that I do is I write a note of everything I want to leave in 2024, whether it's disorganization or unhappiness or any insecurity, or I want to leave half my bills in 2024. Whatever I want to leave in 2024, I write it down. I then write what I want to bring to me in 2025, whether it's love, whether it's a passion, whether it's a healthy life and health for my family, whatever it is. And then I take the 2024 list and I burn it because I'm leaving this in 2024. And then I hold on to the 2025 and I look back at it at the end of the year. Did I accomplish any of it? Did any of it happen? If nothing happened, then I wasn't focused for the year. The goal is to have at least achieved some of it. So everybody enjoy. Thank you. Please be safe. Drink responsibly. If you're going to be out on the road that night, drive defensively because other people will do it wrong. Other people will drink to excess. Hug your loved ones because tomorrow isn't promised. And I will see everybody in a live chat box. And if not, I'll see everybody Friday morning. My goal is to continue to save my money. Facts. Our goal should be to get rid of 5 of the most notorious scammers in all of 2024. Get them out by 2025. Trying to get 20. There you go. Everybody have a great day. I'll see you guys Friday morning.